transformation executed by unprecedented precision, a diabolical athlete.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of ECW Unstoppable, where we have the unstoppable world heavyweight champion, Jon Moxley, coming down to the ring with a microphone in his hand. Let's see what he has to talk about here tonight. Looks like he is calling out Captain Carter, the #1 contender, and here he comes, a couple weeks away from his world title shot. Captain Carter has heard enough. He's ready for what is to come later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get some security out here before these two tear each other apart before Captain Carter's main event match. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event, Captain Carter versus a mystery opponent of Jon Moxley's choosing here tonight. We are kicking off with singles action.
Is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 254 pounds, Zeta!
And we are kicking off with Zilla Fatu, one half of the Fatus. Of course, Jacob right behind him, as they are #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships going into Hardcore Heaven, in which they will be facing the Usos as well as the House of Black in a ladder triple threat. But right now, Zilla Fatu must face one half of the Tag Team Champions. It's a bloodline reunion, as here comes main event, Jey Uso.
And his opponent from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds, main event, Jey Uso!
That's right, the free agent Usos are here on Unstoppable to show why they are the ones and the Tag Team Champions of ECW. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start yeeting. Everybody stand up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a crowd we have here tonight for our third episode of Unstoppable. It is Zilla Fatu versus Jey Uso in our opening contest of Unstoppable. Here we go, and Jey instantly going with a super kick. And a second one to Zilla. And a third for good measure. Main event, Jey Uso feeling himself with a blockbuster. Has been proud with him and his brother becoming two-time ECW World Tag Team Champions. Might have just instantly busted open Zilla Fatu. Scoop slam right on the logo. Of course, the number one contenders, Zilla and Jacob, they have one more team upon the fray. They're looking to take care of one half of the tag team champions right away before their triple threat ladder match. And look at this, you can see Jimmy taking off the turnbuckle pad. Anything goes here in this ECW rules match. And a Samoan drop by Zilla right on the ECW logo. Is that enough? And Jey kicks out at one. Bloody headbutt right to the face of main event Jey Uso. And a big knee. And now talking to Jimmy a little bit, that gives Jey enough time to recover and send Zilla outside onto the apron. Oh, and a stunner using the ropes. And Jey better be careful. He's got Jacob and Zilla right there, sandwiched in between them. And look at Zilla stomping on the hand of Jey Uso, trying to break the wrist of Jey there that's already heavily taped. And Jacob throwing Jey right in the rings as Zilla was going for a maneuver there. Miscommunication by the Fatus here. And that gives time for Jey to reverse right into the chest of Zilla. Goes the exposed turnbuckle, the steel ring there, holding the rope up. And some vintage Jey Uso now sending Zilla outside the ring. And now Sledgehammer being brought into the mix for your opening contest of ECW Unstoppable. My name is Xavier Chalfant. I hope you all are enjoying thus far. As the Bloodline reunion taking place, Zilla Fatu taking out main event Jey Uso here. Of course, these two family members of the Anoa'i family. Zilla Fatu fighting back now. Gotta send Jey right into our announcer's table here. Gotta get up here. As Zilla with a Falcon Arrow. Fans not happy. That main event, Jey Uso is getting pummeled here. Zilla, big headbutt off the top rope, crashing down to the floor. Might have just given Jey Uso a concussion. And a super kick by Zilla. Again, just pummeling the midsection of Jey Uso into the announcer's table. And now look at this Rikishi driver. Rikishi driver shades A big Papa Rikishi of Jimmy and Jay. Mocking the father of Jay there with the Rikishi driver, but Jay fighting back. Jay again fighting back, trying to get Zilla off of him to get some momentum, and a sliding clothesline there by main event Jey Uso. Surprisingly, I've not seen much of Jimmy or Jacob. Figured those two would be the deciding factor in this matchup, but letting these two boys go at it. Giving the family some space here. It's Jey Uso finally bringing it back into the ring. Might be looking for super kick here, lifting him up. Super kick right to the dome of Zilla, who's already busted open. And Jay going flying. Jay going for the cover. And Jay picks up the victory.
Here is your winner, main event, Jey Uso!
And it looks like Jay got busted open at some point during the matchup as well. But the tag team champions getting the better of the number one contenders, the Fatus, here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our next contest. Another one-on-one brawl.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Indianapolis, Indiana, weighing in at 163 pounds, Mac Daddy!
It is the party-loving Mac Daddy coming down to the ring, and he's been a little more serious as of late since winning that number one contendership for the television title. In fact, last week we saw Tommy Dreamer in action, in which Mac Daddy, mid-match, attacked him with a spear. Although he did hit that spear, Dreamer was still able to defeat this man.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, weighing in at 251 pounds, Pitbull Dio and Freeman!
The man known as Pit Dion Freeman. The Pitbull was unsuccessful at beating the television champion last week, despite getting a little bit of an upper hand thanks to Mac Daddy. Maybe looking to beat the number one contender instead here tonight on Unstoppable. So here we go. It is Mac Daddy versus Dion Freeman in our next contest, as the number one contender looks to put away the Pit. And Mac Daddy looking to try and tie up with Pit. I don't know how smart that is. And Mac with a right hand after the referee got him off. And I told you we were seeing a more serious Mac. He's all about winning here. Big knee and an early cover. It's a 2 count over Pit there. But a more aggressive Mac Daddy as of late. He was again going for another cover. This time only one. You see the gold on the wrist, the gold on the neck, and now Mac Daddy's looking for gold on the waist. Come hardcore heaven. As he had a one-on-one date with Tommy Dreamer. And a big knee. And wait a minute, there's Dreamer right there. Speak of the devil. Turn around. Mac Daddy fighting Dreamer. And a big knee sends the hardcore legend crashing. Mac Daddy not scared at all, not backing down, but he's got to focus on Pitt now. With a nice combo. Oh, but Dreamer thinking spike DDT on the logo. Whose side is Dion on? Cover 1, 2, and Mac able to kick out. So now back-to-back attacks for the challenger and champion. With Dion Freeman in the middle. And it could very well be over for Mac here. Powerbomb on the logo. But Dion's not done as Mac rolls out as well. Dion looking for a weapon, no disqualifications here. Grabbing a chair right to the head of Mac. This is the second time, but here comes Dion with another powerbomb. This time on the outside. Big splash by Pitt, now count of 5. Could be issuing a double count out here, but not be ideal. But Dion showing off the strength here for these fans here at Unstoppable. Count of 8 and Dion finally breaking the count. Kip up by Mac Daddy. But not enough as here comes the strength of Dion. And what is this? Freeman going up top, something we don't see very often. But when we do, it's like a missile. Shooting down and hitting Mac. And a spine buster. That can only mean one thing. Oh, going for cover. Maybe not. As he doesn't even need the Pitbull's bite. He just pinned the #1 contender, Mac.
Here is your winner, Pitbull, Dio, and Freeman!
And maybe that is the difference between Tommy Dreamer and Mac Daddy. The resilience of one another Dreamer. Got hit with a spear and was still able to beat Dion to this, but Mac Daddy got hit with a spike DDT and was not able to beat Dion. So it might come down to who is more resilient and whose finisher hits harder at Hardcore Heaven. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for women's action, as here comes the ECW Women's #1 contender, the baddest and the bougiest, Hollywood Haley J.
Extreme Rules match. Making her way to the ring from Tennessee, Hollywood Haley J.
Hollywood Haley J and Rhea Ripley have been going back and forth between each other. Going promo after promo before. Rhea Ripley faced off against Emily Ham last week, was successful despite being attacked by Haley, showing that she is capable of hanging with the top stars like Ripley, and she is not afraid of the Eradicator. But her opponent here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from TNA, making her return, it is Killer Kelly.
And her opponent from Lisbon, Portugal, Kelly.
the Portuguese badass, coming back down to the ring. No music, because she just doesn't care about the aesthetic. She just wants to beat her opponent here tonight, and that just so happens to be the #1 contender for the Women's Championship here at Unstoppable. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a word from our sponsor, WGG. You can get yourself some hydration or energy powder and get 10% off by using the code ECW10 at w.gg. Get yours today. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hardcore matchup between Hollywood Haley J and Killer Kelly. And Kelly starting off strong with a takedown and some several rights to the face of Haley J. Who's got to be a little bit hesitant going in this matchup, knowing that Rhea Ripley is lurking from any corner. And she might need to focus somewhere else as Kelly trying to put her to sleep. But Haley fighting back at him. We saw Haley, she was one win away from winning the Next Gen World Cup, thus giving her this opportunity after beating Roxanne Perez as well, gaining some more momentum than already needed. She became the #1 contender to Rhea Ripley's title, a 5-time women's champion. Kelly now dragging Haley into the corner. And I believe that shot to the head might have busted open Haley. Doesn't seem to be phased whatsoever. We recently saw Haley J a part of the Power Slap pay-per-view, in which she easily beat her opponent. So we can see how strong she is against any opponent, inside or out of the ring. Big kick by Killer. Kelly now looking underneath the ring, grabbing a table, but giving Haley J some time to recoup. And Haley gonna go outside the ring now, trying to play some mind games with Kelly. Looking for her own weapon, and she's gonna bring out a trash can. Haley now sends her off the ropes, drop down. Big pump kick connects. And Haley not done showing off the athleticism with a moonsault. Haley sending Kelly face first in, trying to get her to bluff, and there she is, elbow to the face of Haley. But a nice hip toss reversal. Back in the corner, big knee to the gut, sends Kelly down. And now it's Haley looking to use the table that Kelly brought in. Moving her into the other corner. We're going to get a running start, trying to fake her out again. However, this time able to get a kick to the midsection. And Haley again with the table, setting it up at a spear. Out of nowhere spear, referee getting into the cover. And only a 1 count. Haley now sending Kelly into the table. Haley looking to put her away with the 1D through the table. And Kelly no-selling it. Using the ropes with her, and a trash can shot right to the face. And Kelly somehow able to kick out at 2. I call that a reverse darts right there. Haley still going on the attack. Brutal. And now look at this, halfway across the ring. Haley's going to try it, a big splash. Connects and the cover. And again, Killer Kelly kicks out. But Haley non-stop Kinshasa. Haley giving it everything she's got, showing again that she can be with the best. Big stomp, oh my God. That's gotta be enough to know what in the world. How in the hell did Kelly just kick out there? It hasn't phased Haley one bit. Another stomp, this time misses Kelly. Given an opportunity here. Oh, they're taking too much time as Haley fights back. Staring her down. Back and forth. Kelly into the ropes. Into the corner, excuse me. Kelly might be looking for submission here. Crucifix on the ropes, choking the life out of Haley. I just want to say that stomp was so brutal to watch. Can't believe that Kelly kicked out and she's still fighting. Looking to put away the number one contender. One, no. Instantly a 1 count. And there's the frustration by Kelly. Kelly wrenching the arm. But Haley right to the midsection. Haley, again, another Kinshasa. And Haley thinks that's enough. 2 and 3. What a great opportunity by Kelly, but Haley.
Hollywood Haley J.
With the ultimate package to put Kelly away. And I just got to give her props for that. Haley J showing that she deserves to be a champion here in ECW Unstoppable. As it is time for our main event of the evening. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Main event time. Captain Carter, the number 1 contender for the Unstoppable World Championship.
The following
He will be facing a mystery opponent here tonight.
Introducing first, from Evansville, Indiana, weighing in at 200 pounds, the Captain Carter!
Of course, Captain Carter, the underdog, going into hardcore heaven. He won the Next Gen World Cup and granted himself a World Championship match. And earlier on tonight, showing that he has grit, that he has no remorse for Jon Moxley. Who is this? Music I have not heard. Captain Carter looking a little dastardly himself, a little puzzled.
From Lucerne, Switzerland, weighing in at 232 pounds, C. Sarah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Claudio Castagnoli is back in ECW territory. We haven't seen Claudio for quite some time, but it only makes sense that Jon Moxley called in a favor for a former BCC member himself. And Claudio Castagnoli. So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to get Captain Carter versus Claudio here in our main event. Wait a minute. Another song?
And from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 190 pounds, the Goo Wheeler!
Wearing the Death Rider t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen, Claudio's not alone, but Captain Carter is. Wheeler Yuta is making his way down to the ring, a part of the Death Riders with Claudio. It looks like Captain Carter's got himself a handicap match in our main event. Captain Carter, wondering if there's anybody else coming down to the ring. It's Captain Carter versus the BCC, the Death Riders, in our main event of Unstoppable. And Captain Carter and Claudio starting off the matchup. Big moonsault by the captain of the sky. And that's why damn right impossible for Captain Carter to win here tonight, as Wheeler Yuta just broke that up with ease the very second that he tried to make that cover. Captain Carter against the odds, trying to take out Claudio here. Drop kick right to the back of Claudio, and a shooting star. What's Carter thinking here? Wanting Claudio to get up. Looking for a springboard maneuver. Hurricane Rana by Carter. What is this? Drop kick gets shut down by the strength of Claudio, who is much taller, much bigger than Captain Carter, as he tags into Wheeler Yuta. BCC, now known as the Death Riders, making their return to ECW to try and take out Captain Carter. I mean, at the beginning, John Moxley did say that Captain Carter was going to be met with a death ride, but I didn't know he meant the actual Death Riders would be involved. That just shows what power that the World Champion has here. An Unstoppable big splash by Wheeler. And Carter kicks out at 2. Wheeler now lifting him up on one knee. Oh, just kneeing the face of Carter. Not done, but Carter able to get out of harm's way without thinking. This time springboard crossbody connects. Carter going for a cover. And kick out at 1 by Yuta. Yuta going for a submission. Captain's curse here on Carter in the middle of the ring, but Yuta letting go. He might be thinking of something more dangerous. Turning him inside out. And that might be the beginning of the end for Captain Carter. 2 on 1 too much. Too much for the number 1 contender, Captain Carter, as Claudio and Wheeler make light work of Captain Carter here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching, and as always, have a good night.